Hello.
Oh, y'all caught me. I was actually writing. Oh,
Girl, I didn't even know you could read.
and with a pen actually. What? Girl, what?
hmm
Mm.
And how are you?
I am wonderful. How are you today?
You're so wonderful.
I am. I'm wonderful.
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 Marvelous. You should care for me.
Boop, boop. That's
Yes,
right.
I am starting it already.
I mean,
It's
that's
all
what we
good.
do. Hey, Crib Queen, what's going on?
Hey, best friend.
Hey, best friend. How you doing? Oh my
Ooh,
God.
everybody's popping into the shoe.
What's going on? Spill It Boy showed up. Come on. Y'all gonna make
Yes.
this is a
So we
whole
have a lot to talk about
right.
this
We got
weekend.
celebrities in the
This
house and everything.
weekend was quite festive.
Mm-hmm.
I have stories.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
how was your weekend? Well,
Uh,
your week and then your weekend.
so my week was in the words of Dominion, weeky.
Mhm.
But it is it is this thing where I am trying to pull together, and I don't know if it's just me, but god damn it, I feel like the job should not be difficult. It is the people that are making the job difficult,
Mhm.
and you you go on record as making statements or making changes or making rules, but at the end of the day it's not being followed or it's not being adhered to, and it's like it's that whole thing of like, oh well, we'll give it a month or so and then after that we'll go back to doing what we're doing. And I'm like,
You're just wasting my fucking time.
so that's part of what I feel.
Mhm.
um it's also, there's a piece of me that feels like my first response, which is to walk up on my employees, be like, nigga, what but I can't do that. But I feel like that's
I
how I want
mean,
to,
you could.
that's how I want to address some of them, but it's
Mhm.
not in my best interest to do that.
No, not if you want to continue to be employed there.
And so for me now, the struggle is um knowing that I've set these things in motion, knowing that I've put these things out there, knowing that I've made these changes and they've been adhered to for a second, but now they're not. Is it indicative of me not enforcing? Is it indicative of them not just giving a fuck? Or is it something bigger than me and them? And that's the part that I'm trying to figure, because I feel like in my spirit, I feel like there's a setup somewhere. I don't know what it is. I feel like this position, the fact that I'm managing it and doing two positions right now, I feel like it's a setup. It's kind of like that. The answer to the unanswerable question is like there isn't really an answer, but because it's always going to happen, and just yeah, I just feel like my hands are a little tied. So I'm just feeling those moments of what the hell am I getting ready to do now? That sort of thing.
Mhm.
Um, so it's just me stressing about that. It probably in my own head, because I think that's what we do at a certain age. You just start to, it's not always about the job or they did this to me and they didn't let me do this and the job didn't do this. It's like, what the fuck am I doing that is not allowing me to get my shit done? Or what the hell am I doing that is not allowing people to follow my directions, or, that sort of thing. So it's just those thoughts.
Right.
But all in all, after that week and after what I knew was going to be coming up, the weekend was definitely a welcome distraction,
Mhm.
because we decided at the last minute to roll on up to the NYCs.
Mhm.
And while one of our baristas decided not to
Hey,
go,
Cortez
hey Cortez, hey Lola,
and
hey
Lola
hey
and
Des.
Des
But while one of
and
my
Joshua.
our good sisters decided not to roll up, the two of us rolled up, and so me and Devia went up and we had a ball. So of course, we just did what we did, and we had all. And if anybody knows Deviant when he's in the car, the thing for him is it's like that he is always going to be my co-pilot or my Duchess of Music or whatever. Because like, bitch, just go ahead and do it, baby. I'm not a word person when it comes to music. I usually get focused on the beats and the rhythms and the melodies type of things.
Mm-hmm.
But baby, listen to Victoria Monet on the way up there. This song called "Moment." Listen, this stuck with me all weekend. She said, life is but a dream that you manifested slowly. So fuck a fantasy. This is your motherfucking moment.
Okay.
I'm all in. I'm all in.
Like, I'm
all in everything about it. The song is amazing. She's amazing. She has other shit that's out there, Victoria Monet. But baby, that song, that line done stuck to me for this weekend. And bitch, listen, I am good. We also had I had a memory this weekend. We were talking about soft tops and what we have referred to in the amongst a smaller circle as blouses. And
yes. Who are we talking about?
We not anybody in particular. We were just talking about just in general. And we Deviant and I had this moment where it was like we was listening to what's her name? Pussy Real Good. Pussy Real Good. Pussy. Mm-hmm. Divine. All of a sudden out of nowhere it was like, imagine you getting it in and they on your back and he whispers in your ear, sis, how that dick feel? Is that pussy real good?
You like that dick, girl? You like this dick? Is this dick wearing you out, bitch?
Oh,
in your life, bitch.
Oh, pussy real good. So, listen. Part of it was I was probably drunk. I was probably high. I was probably all the
driving.
No, this was when we were there. We were walking back, and baby, we were key, and we could not get ourselves together. So, but it was a great weekend. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. My barista tried to put me on Front Street and try to get me to do a motherfucking take some motherfucking strokes or some black goddamn paddling and shit in the middle of the motherfucking Folsom. Bitch, I ain't into that. I'm not doing.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not doing all that.
Lies.
I'm not
lies.
I'm not doing
to say that you aren't going to do it is one thing. To say that you aren't into it is a whole other lie.
I didn't say I wasn't into that. I said I'm not doing all that. That's what I said. I'm not doing.
You did. That. You literally just said, "Oh, I'm not into all of that."
Okay, well, maybe that was a stumble because it's my drink, but I'm not doing. I'm not doing all that.
So I'll accept that you didn't want to do it. You know that you wanted to be a bitch about it. So that's fine. But to say that you don't do that, no, I don't accept that. So, what all did you all end up doing? Because we didn't see you most of the weekend.
Most of the weekend, I spent laughing the entire weekend with fucking Deviant. It was one of our things where we were just kind of like just lounging around, but laughing at the same time, talking about a whole bunch of folk as we do, and just having a good time. I mean, we did the rock bar drinks. I ate a couple things, little edibles here and there, and it was a good time had by all. I got my steps in. I was good.
Bitch, did I get my steps in? I probably got like 50,000 steps over the weekend.
Baby, got the steps in, and like I was good. I saw everything I needed this weekend. I saw ass, I saw dick, I saw titties. I was laughing at somebody that was in the middle of Folsom getting their dick sucked, and for whatever reason, I thought it was a bag that was down by their ankle, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I was like, I didn't mean to step on your bag. Then I looked down. I was like, bitch, that's not a bag. I said, oh, well, bitch, carry on. All right, whatever. Bitch, I was just that, like, so unbothered. I was like, what the fuck? I gave a little mini stunt queen coming in the door. How the fuck?
You did.
Of all things, and listen, anybody that knows me knows damn well, I try not to walk. I don't walk out the house without no motherfucking identification. Bitch, that's the first thing. I'm always. Like, I'm with people that it happens to, but bitch, it just don't happen to me. I just don't do that shit. Right. Well, baby, it happened this weekend. And baby, I was in that line and I said, bitch, that means I got to walk back to the hotel to get my ID and then come back over here. Bitch, listen, I turned on that smile and I was just like, hi, so it's my birthday weekend and like I forgot my ID and stuff, and like it's my birthday and like I forgot my ID and stuff. And the woman was like, you ain't got no ID? I was like, it's my birthday and I don't have no ID with me and stuff. She was like, when's your birthday? And I was like, 1971, 6/14. She was like, okay. She's like, all right, fine. I was like, oh, I'm good? She's like, yes, you're good. Okay, great. Then the next go round was I realized that Deviant had paid for his entry fee online and he just showed him his phone. So when I came back, I had my phone in my hand, but I also had money in my hand. So I was trying to get the shit out, put it together, do whatever. And the guy was like, okay, you're good. As I saw your phone, I was like, what? I was like, I had cash in my hand and I was like, what? He said, oh, you're paying. I said, no, I paid online. He was like, oh, you did? I was like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Child, I got on in. That $20 went towards dinner or for us later on that night. So, bitch, that's just where I'm at. A fucking $120 something for parking in fucking New York City. Fucking for 2 days, just ridiculous. Our hotel was kind of cute. We found another motherfucking bodega that was everything. Bitch, the bodegas in New York City is everything. Everything. So yeah, but all in all, it was a great weekend. The ride up was easy. The ride back was easy. We got a little bit of traffic, here and there, but it was all good. Like I had a great weekend. Saw a whole lot of people. Saw some people that I didn't want to see. But
as did I.
Yeah, and it happened.
We'll get to that.
I was like, okay. So but all in all, it was good. Hey, Tyra.
And Mrs. Sugar Snap and Eccentric.
Oh my goodness, the crew is all here. Oh my goodness. Hey, loves.
Yes, and I think we mentioned Lola, but just again, Lola is here and on time. She joined at 8:05, 8:05 p.m. So she was right on time.
Yes, she is. But again, all in all, it was a great weekend. Like I really had a good time. I had to check myself out of a couple different things, just in my own head, because we all have our own body images and body issues or whatever. But I had a good time. So I was very, very. It was very much needed, and it was right on time for the nonsense that I came back into today for work. But other than that, it was all good. It was all good. How was your weekend? We didn't see you a whole lot, but then when we did, it was like, oh, bitch, wait a minute, bitch, is that? Do I smell? Do I taste? Bitch, you done had some sex, bitch. It's all over you, honey. That's what I smell.
You smell like a man.
You smell like a $2 whore that just came off the streets.
Excuse me, I am classy. It was a $5. I'm a $5 whore. Excuse me.
I mean,
that way I don't have to break bills.
Right. That's the easiest denomination. It's ones, fives, tens, 20s. I mean, it's okay.
Exactly.
I get it.
$1 hoes, they don't love themselves.
No,
I love myself.
So,
I hopped on the Sellers and rode up to New York City with more clothes than I would need for 2 weeks in the city, but that's neither here nor there. As well as a significant amount of my arsenal, because I had several play functions and dates and demos planned. And so my bags were like 10,000 pounds. Luckily, I just had to get them on the train and, into my office and then back down and into an Uber. So work was whatever it was. Then I got to the hotel and I checked in and, remember that scene in Coming to America where they talk about their meager accommodations?
Right.
Well, this was the Holiday Inn in Chelsea, and she was meager.
Hey, there's my listen. We're gonna give a special shout. There go my sister in there. She got a couple different names. Manga Mallory. Hey, Kane, what's going on, Beach?
And so The whole I mean, it's a Holiday Inn. I mean, it was basic, but she was small.
Child, New
So,
York City, that's what she gives. Like the
well,
bathroom.
I mean, I've stayed in rooms that are much bigger than that. I mean, like the last time I came to New York, I think it was a courtyard or something, and
Okay.
there was at least like there was like a king size bed, but then it was like a little space with like a little desk. I mean, this was all in one little tiny room in the bathroom, and I mean, but listen, it was functional and it was clean. It was right off the elevator. It wasn't a whole lot of muss. It wasn't a whole lot of fuss. I was not there to live my fancy Waldorf Astoria fantasy. So that was not the purpose of this trip.
Right.
So Friday night we went to we had the bar crawl. I didn't make it to the first spot, which was Ties, which I've never been in before. But I got there and they had just left Ties because Ties is literally across the street from the hangar.
Oh,
So I went into the hangar and they were there, and we stood around and watched these two people play a terrible game of pool.
oh my God.
Because what was happening was they were both trying to do trick shots, and neither of them were good at trick shots. So, dude was like, like the ball, it was like seven in the side pocket. And instead of just like, all you had to do was hit the ball and it would go straight in. He's like, no, I'm gonna bounce it off of these four angles. And then it was like, and he missed all of them. So what should have been like a 15, and not that I wanted to play, but it was just exhausting watching it. And so what should have been like a 15, like a 10 or 15-minute game of pool was like an hour long. We watched them fuck around. Luckily, I was just there to get tipsy and look at boys. So that was that. And then we left there and went to Rock Bar, which was really fine by me because 2 bars is really kind of my limit for bar crawls, because I'm always, whenever people are like bar crawls, I was like, but why though?
But wait a minute.
Because they never do anything, I've never been on a bar crawl. I've had fun on bar crawls, let's be clear. But there was nothing different about any of the other bars we went to. We could have kikied at this same bar that we were at.
So
So
I agree with you on that, but I will say the one in New Orleans, we went on that bar crawl with the brothers. That
that was different because there was literally strippers in one spot and not strippers in the other. So by definition,
well, that was
and one was also by what was that place called? Wet Willie's.
what? No, but so yes, they were. But for me, I got life in all of them because it was that back room in one, then it was the dance floor in another, and then it was just the fact that it was just nasty and just grungy in the other one, and I had to stand outside for me. I got my stinking life on that bar crawl. I really
Yes.
did. I did.
So that was fun, and Rock Bar was cute. They had like a drag show. Then another dude that was doing like a performance art piece where he was like destroying a watermelon, and I was like, "Bitch, I did not know we came to a Gallagher show. I did not bring my plastic tarp for the show." Then they turned they closed, and then Rago did a flogging sort of sensory play demo with Kenzo on the stage. And then when they got done with that, then they close the curtain, they pull a curtain on the stage, and the stage becomes a little back room. And I was like, but bitch, this is elevated like almost a foot off of the stage. So I was like, you could be fucking
like,
and not where you going, and then
like,
fall off the fucking stage. But that didn't actually happen. But I ain't seen nobody that was really in that dark space that I wanted to be with. And then plus I had on my Onyx vest. So I was like,
well, when I walked in on Saturday, I saw motherfuckers up in the corner, and I saw that curtain moving. Like, I said,
yeah. And then did you when you went to get a drink on Sunday, did you see them carrying on with the curtain open?
yes, I did see that, and I was kind of like, "Could you watch that for my drink, please?" Like, I'm at the end of the
right.
bar.
So we'll get to that. So that's Saturday. Friday. Saturday, I got up and made sure I had my passport and took the path out to Jersey.
You went so far. Girl.
I did. I took and this it's the Saturday on the path. So she didn't go straight to Newark. She goes all the way to Hoboken. And then you got to actually get off the train and take another train that goes from Hoboken to Newark. And then, of course, the train to Newark, they're doing construction. So there was like a 15-minute delay. So we just sitting there like, and then of course, so I have my earplugs in because I don't want to engage with anybody. And I had my prescription mirror sunglasses on. So I could see everything, but no one could see my face, which is perfect because then I could look at people and look in crotches and at asses and stuff. And, not, well, I was being slightly pervy, but at least no one knew that I was being pervy. Because, I could look at you over there while my glasses are still looking here. So I was like.
Slightly. Okay.
A little bit.
I just want you to see if we can get them fingers just a little bit closer. Just a little bit closer. Like right there.
Yeah. So I went to go see Cortez. We had a lovely little talk and walk around. We went to this little black restaurant. And why do black restaurants always feel like they have to be different?
Listen,
can't you just be a black restaurant that serve? And when I say different, I don't mean like there's anything wrong with soul food. In fact, I love soul food. But if I want to go for greens, right? Not that I'm probably not going to eat other people greens in the street anyway. But let's say I did. I just want collard greens. I don't want collard greens with
a Filipino tomato sauce or something.
Exactly, with a smoked chicken skin coulis or something. And it's not even that they taste bad per se, but I'm just not here for that. I just want like regular fucking food. So first of all, we get there and we walk in and we sit down. And before we even sit down, me and Cortez, the waitress says, "We're not serving the brunch side of the menu today." So I was like, "Bitch, y'all don't have a whole lot of side." I mean, so half of the menu y'all already don't have, but okay. So then your choices really come down to a hamburger, a lamb, not made out of ham, but a beef burger, a lamb burger, a fried chicken sandwich, a grilled chicken sandwich, or shrimp in a couple of different ways, or some expensive ass hot wings. So I got the lamb and it was perfectly fine, but I felt like they was doing the most with this lamb burger. Like it had all of these specials. She was like, this one is like a spicy ketchup, that is homemade. And this other is like a spicy, super fiery mango sauce. And then this other one is called like the gumbo sauce, or not gumbo, but like some other bullshit name, the yaya sauce or some other bullshit. And I was like, so it's mayonnaise with sumac in it. Okay, girl. I mean,
ciao.
So it's got chopped garlic in it, a little thyme, some sumac, and some marjoram. It's okay, whatever the fuck. But it was just doing the most. But the food itself was not bad. Yeah. But it was one of those spots where when you ask for a soda, they bring the soda in a can to your table and then pour it to you. So I'm just like, we're going to get to my complaints about black restaurants in a minute, Lola. But okay, so they give you the little soda, that's fine or whatever. And then he was like, "Oh, you want to try the pound cake?" And so I was like, "Yeah, we're at a black restaurant, this is going to be a pound cake." And
give me a good piece of fucking pound cake. Don't do
bitch.
Chocolate souffle, lemon meringue with just give me a good old fashioned greasy motherfucking pound cake that you put on the napkin. You see the grease stains from the butter. That's what I need.
A piece of lemon pound cake with the hard icing that forms a crust on the outside, like and when you bite it, not a fondant, but just like a icing, you just take some powdered sugar and mix it with a little water enough so that it runs, and then you just pour that over the cake, and then you let that shit freeze. Yes. And then when you slice into it, the icing just like shatters off in a little piece. It takes a little piece of the brown crust with it. Baby,
that's now that's a good right, because that's how I like to, when you feel like the pound cake ain't you just jazz it up with a little bit of that.
Right. This was not that.
Okay. I'm out.
It was not terrible because it was still dessert. But as I'm eating it, I was like, bitch, is this cornbread?
Not cornbread. Wait a minute.
It wasn't actually cornbread, but the texture of it was just off. And like if they had served this as their cornbread, I might have been like, this is some good cornbread. But as pound cake, I was like, this is off. But it wasn't so off.
You and Cortez had pound cake?
We shared a slice.
Bitch, Cortez. So first of all, if
Cortez has negative 2% body fat.
Negative body fat at this point. He's all motherfucking back and muscle and just muscle, and is all over. His back is muscle, his ass is muscle, his
right, child, his muscles had muscles. That bitch had muscles on his fingernails.
Right, he's just a big fucking short muscle.
Right.
I mean, we still love him, but goddamn. And he told me he wasn't even competing.
He is planning for a competition, I think, in the fall.
No, he said something about at the wedding, and it's going to be expensive, but we'll come back to that.
Oh, okay. Well, so anyway, I mean, overall, the food was fine, but not fine enough where I'm going to ever go back again.
Okay.
So it was in a cute little spot in Newark called Military Park or some bullshit. So.
Okay.
And then did you make it to what?
Did you make it to BBQs? Okay, I did. Oh, okay, sorry.
But we'll get to that, and there's a reason why I'm not going to go. So, I took the train back to Jersey and did a little shopping because I needed some new jock straps. I'm on a bit of a jock strap thing because normally I don't wear underwear at all, but I will, and this is sharing, and sharing is caring. As I've gotten older, my balls have gotten lower. And there have been a number of occasions where I will be somewhere and sit down and I zig what I should have, and I'm like, whoa, woo, yeah.
Listen,
a couple of jock straps are going to pull everything together to keep me from fucking myself around.
I've been having that conversation with my old roommate about that. Because his ass went to go sit down on the couch a couple times, and he was like, "Hachita, ooh, ha ha," and I'm
exactly
because he's a clown. And anyway, that's another story. Shout out to Ed. I don't know if he's watching, but hey, Ed.
Yes. So I did a little shopping, bought a couple of jock straps, and I'm the kind of person that, when I find something that I like, I'll go online and find it in every fucking color. So, now I'm about to get a couple of others. And actually what I ended up getting was 2 jock straps. And I bought them. 2 of them was from that store that's next door to the Leatherman. And then 1 I got at London, which is, where London is. London is right next door to God Rest Its Soul, Havana Alma de Cuba. The store that's downstairs that was right next door to where Havana Alma de Cuba was.
I remember. I bought some. I think I bought that harness from there. I think I bought my harness from there.
Yes. And you remember the Leatherman. That's where we where I tried on that corset and broke it and then put that girl, allegedly. Yeah. And I mean, that was like 7 years ago. The statute of limitation has passed.
But technically speaking, you actually didn't break it. I was the one that was lacing you up in it, bitch, and I was pulling.
Baby, I have never been that snatched. I was like, Miss Scarlett, I can't breathe. Bitch, I can't. No, bitch, I cannot breathe.
And I went to go tie that bitch, and that hook said, I said, well, we're gonna go ahead and skip past that. It's like, I think I was like,
and then you were like, stand still.
Like, bitch, don't you move, bitch. Don't you
stand still. And then you whispered in my ear, the corset broke. And I was like, what did you say? The corset. Because the guy was standing like right there.
Right there. And this was a leather fucking boned.
The shit was like $500. So this was not a cheap kilt. And you were like, the corset broke. I was like, oh. So I was like, so we took that photo. It was like, and then he was like, you were like, don't lean back too far. Don't lean back too far. So we took the photo. Then it was, and then he was like, so are you going to buy it? I was like, nah, we'll put it back. And then I was like, we will put it back.
Baby, listen, that takedown.
We put that shit back and then circled our ass up there, and we was fucked up too. Let's just be very
like,
clear.
okay, gotta go bye.
Right. I have never gone up that spiral staircase so fast and out of that store.
Baby, listen. So if y'all see that picture of Dominion and I doing in the
it's in the intro and in the outro.
Yeah, in the intro and the outro, we was giving her in the vein of our best imitating some of the legendary girls from all these sororities, and we was leaning back. Baby.
Right.
We was leaning back with care, baby. Care.
Yes, because girl, I was not trying to pay my half of that corset. So
and listen, bitch, had we paid for that motherfucker, bitch, I would be still support that motherfucker to this day.
Bitch, I'd have been like, is this your Saturday with the corset or mine?
Baby, but I wasn't ready. I was just wasn't ready for that. But
and so then I came back home because I had a play date with a potential sub, and that went smashingly.
Smashingly, of all words, smashingly.
Mm-hmm. We did a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a whole lot of this, and a whole lot of that, and tore my fisting glove.
Oh, is that the one you said you just tore, the one you just got?
Yes. Well, I've had it for like a year, but I only really started using it like 4 or 5 months ago. And that's fine because the moment he left, I immediately went on Fort Trough and ordered 2 more. But so that was cute. And then I did not discover a bodega, but right there on 6th Avenue and 23rd Street, right by the entrance to the path, was Mimo's shish kebab spot. And she was so fucking good. That they call it a shepherd salad with the tomato, the cucumber, and the onions with the little vinaigrette and some hummus and the little seasoned white rice and the skewers, because they had the gyro skewers as well as the ground chicken skewers. Baby, I fucked that all up. I fucked it up so bad till I went back the next day to get it again. So I got my skewers and took my ass on uptown to the Onyx Suite, and that was low key. A Saturday night in the suite was just kikiing and cutting up, so that was not a whole lot going on there.
And Saturday night for us was when we were at the Rock Bar. So
did you see Cortez there? Because I think that was the night he was dancing.
That's right. Yeah. That was the first night that I saw him, and I came in and I was just like, bitch, take this $5, baby, because I can't. I was like, let me just stuff this in your jock, baby, because he was up. And I was like, listen, listen, I'm not one of your fans, honey. I'm one of your brothers, honey. But let the fans get to you. I'm just want to get this money. Y'all see me putting money in his jock strap.
That's how I feel. I mean, Cortez is extremely sexy, and he is a gorgeous person.
Oh, yeah.
But that's like my little brother. So like he's got an OnlyFans and everything, and he will ask me for my opinion, and I can objectively be like, yeah, this was a hot scene, but I'm not getting off on this scene because I'm not jerking off to my little brother. I mean, we've got lots of brothers, and we've got lots of brothers that do porn, but I just feel like Cortez is kind of like my actual brother. And like, I don't know that I wouldn't want to watch my actual brother fuck or get fucked. And I do, because I'm gonna support him, and I'm definitely going to support his OnlyFans, but I'm not like, take that dick, Cortez. Yeah, I'm not giving you that.
I will support him, and I've subscribed to it, and I've seen some of the stuff on it. But I'm like, I'll just support. Like, I'll support you. That's all I can. That's all I can do. But like you said,
Yeah, I mean, you'll get my money every month.
yeah,
So even if I don't watch it.
yeah, that's not my minute. You're not in my spank bank of visual of stuff.
I mean, you could be if I didn't feel like we was practically related.
If I didn't know him and we went, yeah, of course, I'd be like, okay, well, this is cute. But right now, no, I'm good. Like I've seen, listen, but to tell the truth and shame the devil, I've seen some of our brothers, whether they are OnlyFans or not, and I'm kind of like,
yeah, but I mean, again, there are certain people who are not just brothers and not just friends; they're actually like family.
Well, yeah, and that is true because you also have a different relationship with every
And
person.
you know, another one is like elimination. Like I follow elimination on Twitter, and I'd be like, "Girl, please put that away. I do not want to see that." And you know, she put it out there, so
I mean,
not
listen,
like you can't see it.
So I've known him for so long. I've seen him in a couple different lights, and that was never one of the ones where I was like, okay, well, and you know, I've even had some testimonials from some people, and I was kind of like,
I had testimonials too.
yeah,
not my own testimonials, but others.
Yeah, I mean, not mine. I don't have one, but I mean
I'm an archivist, you know. So
oh no, and now listen, now I will file that shit away for totally useless. I have shit filed. That listen,
right.
So, but yeah,
exactly, exactly. Eccentric. Clutch the pearl. Clutch the pearls. Is that a sausage? It is a sausage.
Yeah.
I still, every time I see him, I ask him, did he ever call the big booty cutie from the Bahamas back? He was like, you know, that girl hits me up every couple of months, every time she come to town. But I was like, you still get them, you get all them stains out your furniture. Anyway. Anyway, on to Sunday. So Sunday, we get up, we go down, we all make our way down eventually to Folsom East. And it's not the same as it used to be when it was behind the Eagle in the meatpacking district, where it was like 5 or 6 blocks.
Yeah.
It's in the block it's in the block where Rock Bar is. So it's on Christopher Street between Washington Street and West Side Highway. So it's only about 2 blocks long, and it's not even the whole width of the street because they still got to leave a path for buses to get by.
But then remember, it makes the right turn down the street.
Right, but that's still only half of that street. So it's like a billion people jammed up into this space.
It's probably more than 2 blocks in total.
Yes, but the Onyx spot was, we were perfectly positioned because we were right on the corner, right in front of Rock Bar where everything was happening. And so I brought my accoutrement because I assumed that I might be asked to, by the pledges, to do like a light spanking demo, or I was prepared to let one of them flog me, or same as I did with Steel Toe. I was the first person that Steel Toe ever flogged, and that line, when he was online, I took my shirt off and allowed them to flog me as like an experiment, and that was all cool, but because they wasn't trying to do nothing crazy. But then, like, I'm just standing there, and I literally did not say, hey, I want to spank a bunch of people today. But this one kid comes up and was like, they had a wheel. So they had like spin the wheel and choose your thing. So they paid $10. It was a cute little fundraiser. I was like, bitch, we should do that.
It's cute.
So, I mean, basically they bought the wheel and you just write on the wheel what the prizes are. So it's not like you can probably buy that wheel on Amazon, and it's just had like
wheel. But that's another story. Go ahead.
Right. Anyway, so this kid, Sage, who is Daddy Sage, who was the president, comes to me and was like, this kid wants you to spank him. And I was like, what? And then I turned around and looked at him, and I was like,
when I first saw you,
baby, he was maybe 5'8" or so, and maybe about 145 pounds.
Oh my.
Brown skin with this sort of reddish brown hair. And then, so, I was also cognizant of the fact that the pledges were there watching me. So I wanted to like show them how you do it. So I made a show of explaining them like red, yellow, green, purple, and how he was in control of the scene. And at first, because other people have been spanking people, but they just sort of bent over the bench. But you know, my back is bad. So because of that and other reasons, I was like, you should get up on the table. And baby, he got up on the table, bent all the way down and spread them cheeks, and his hole just blossomed in my face. And you saw me, I literally, because I was not expecting his hole to be that beautiful.
It was. We're gonna.
And
It
he,
was.
so like I'm talking to people while he's sort of getting himself in position. And I turned around and looked at his hole. And what did I do? I was like, it took my breath away for a second.
Listen, this is Karen. This is Karen Walker. Like a beautiful flower.
It was. And so I spanked him. And, you know, I have my little paddles that I use, but then I have the big paddle. Right. And, you know, I was showing how to put on a show. So I had these big paddles, and I always clap those two big paddles together, which gets the whole crowd together. And then he looked over. He was like, "You're not going to hurt me, are you, Daddy?" And I was like, "I got you, baby." I was in my moment. And so I spanked him. And then like 2 or 3 other people. Then our brother Headstrong was like, "I want you to spank me too."
When I first saw you, I said, "Oh my."
When I say,
"Oh my, what a treasure."
I was married and divorced 5 times on Sunday.
I believe it.
So Headstrong.
Those were 2 of the marriages right there.
That's 2 of the marriages right there. Headstrong got his sexy ass up on first he kissed me. And you know, there's always been like a thing between us. So he kissed me, then he got up on the table and he spread his cheeks, and then I was like,
wow.
And I was already thinking, I was like, how could I put my tongue in his ass on this stage? And so then I flogged him, and then, you know, I went in, you know, I did the whole. And then I just came in and started sucking on his butthole there for a second. And he looked over his shoulder at me and he was like, "That's for later." And I was like, and then I spanked like 4 or 5 other people. And then I spanked, this woman asked me, or I don't know if they identified as a woman, but this female bodied person asked me to spank them. And they were actually cool. They were very cool.
So, yes. Now, there were 2 people that I saw get spanked. And I was sitting there saying to myself, where the fuck would I place my hands? Because
this person was a large person. There was the way that their body shape came together, and what they were wearing, I couldn't tell exactly where I was supposed to spank.
You were not.
I was like, am I going to be spanking him on just like his fleshy sides? I am not trying to make fun of this person at all.
No,
I just literally couldn't, because of what he was wearing. I couldn't tell where his like back stopped and his like ass started. So I was like, if I spank him here, am I just spanking the sides of his back, or am I spanking the cheek? So I was like, so I spanked the sort of as low as I could so that I didn't hurt this man, because I didn't want to be this person, because I didn't want to be spanking them in their kidneys or whatever. Baby, so
all I know is I kept looking, saying, where the fuck would I place my hands?
Right.
But listen, shout out to you and to I think it was Tempest actually.
Oh, the Tempest turned it out. But so the Tempest was game for anything. And when you spun the wheel, you could either spank or be spanked, flog or be flogged.
Right.
And this one person decided that he wanted to do the flogging. Because you know how the girls get up there and be like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. So it's not Tempest, it is the Tempest. It's like a nigga named, a pimp named Slickback.
Gotcha.
You got to say the whole thing. His name is not Tempest, it's the Tempest.
The Tempest, listen, now I wasn't even talking about that part. I was talking about when he was spanking that ass. I was like, shout out to you and kudos to you because, baby, my hand placement, I didn't know where it was. But what you're talking about was shout out to him as well because the Tempest, because, baby, it would have been the end of that day for me. And
yeah. Because this guy, and so I'm sort of watching other things going on out of the corner of my eye while I'm continuing to spank and, do whatever. And all of a sudden, I hear him scream in pain, fall to the ground. And then I was like, what happened? And then this guy that was flogging him he just sort of stood there frozen. And the Tempest was like, he said he knew what he was doing. I was like, girl, look at him. Does he look like he knows what the fuck he's doing? He's got on a pleather harness, not a vegan leather harness, because there's a difference. Because what a vegan leather harness looks like leather, but it's not leather. This bitch had on a black plastic harness.
I'm gonna call bullshit on the vegan versus plastic, but I mean whatever. But listen,
I'm making a distinction for the purposes of this story.
Okay, well, listen, for those of you that don't know what the fuck happened, he got hit in the nuts. Just like any motherfucker that's online and you go take some wood, but you grab them nuts, but he got hit in the nuts. And baby, when I say he went down, he went down.
But we were making fun not of him, but with him afterwards, because he does a number of things, but he's also like a screenwriter. And I was like, bitch, you gave a dramatic performance.
Baby.
And he was able to laugh at it later, but in the moment, yeah.
He was down. And baby, we were sitting there on this. I was like, bitch, is this swollen? Bitch, is something going on? Is it swollen? He's like, no, I have big balls. I'm like,
right. Oh, okay. Because me and Chet was standing there when he let somebody else spank him before this person. And I was like, there's no fucking way that I would let random strangers at an event like this do that. But he's also a relatively new brother. And any of us who are kinky know how men can get in an environment like this. They're machismo and their testosterone, and so if they're with their buddies or whatever, they gotta prove themselves. So you know how they try to like, oh yeah, I know how to flog. But as soon as they hold a flogger, they hold it like this or some bullshit to let you know that they've never held a fucking flogger in their hand in their whole life. And I was like, yeah, there's no way that I'm gonna let some complete stranger flog me at an event like this. So, I mean, I'll flog you, but yeah, no. Now, I would let a pledge flog me because I feel like that is a controlled environment, but some absolute stranger who just paid $10, yeah, girl, that's a no for me.
It was 20.
Whatever, but still. And then, so there were two more remarkable asses. One was named, his name is Raw Piglet.
And Desmond, I'll send you a picture of a couple floggers.
So that was beautiful. But then there was this slim brother that wanted me to flog him. And he got up on the table. And as I was hitting him, he started moaning louder and louder and louder. And I was getting more and more turned on. And then he got down to the point where I forgot I was doing a fucking demo. I got him down off of the table and had him put his arms around my neck.
Bitch, listen. I'm gonna give you kudos for this because, bitch, listen. If you've never seen a flogging demo, it is definitely about the energy that the submissive is giving, but also the dom is giving. But the combination is what really sends it up. And at this particular point, this young man that Dominion was flogging was probably.
I was actually paddling him, but yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes, you were paddling him. The young man that you were paddling, he was probably about like maybe 5'8", 5'9". He was probably
very slim,
like maybe like 120, 130. Like he's like probably like a
Yes.
28, 29-inch waist. So baby, at one point where he put his arms around Dominion and Dominion had the one arm around him and in his other hand he had the paddle. Bitch, it was the sexiest. It was just like he was like, "Yeah, come to daddy, come to daddy, come to daddy," and he was just in the boy was in Dominion's arm, and he was just like, "Listen."
And then I started kissing him, and we started French kissing while I was paddling him. So I kissed him deeper with each, swat of the paddle. Maybe I did. I was like, and then I opened my eyes and I was like, oh, you bitches are still here. Okay, got it.
It was a moment because it translated very well. It was a moment though. I was like, okay, bitch.
Yeah, thank you for taking the video. I will definitely. I'm going to be editing those videos this weekend.
Oh, and bitch, listen. To be clear, it took me a couple minutes to get over there because bitch, I was a little high. So I was like, where the fuck are they going? I was like, oh shit, bitch, wait.
Right. I was like, girl, what are you doing?
Bitch, I was a little high. I was a little slow. Yeah, I'm just saying I was a little slow.
And me and Epic got as close as we will ever get to Kai Kai. Because between all of the asses that I spanked and fingered and licked, every time I ate somebody's ass, I would come. So the first time I did it, I came over to Epic and was like,
something about want to taste all the asses I had or something.
Right. I was like, do you want to taste all of something like that? It's like, do you want to taste all of the asses that you? I was like, do you want to know what a beautiful ass tastes like?
Or something to that effect. And I was like, what?
And you were like, no. I was like, you want to do it. You want to do it. And then I could see you like, what? And then so I was like, and then you were like, what the fuck? And then I was like, touch my tongue. And then we touched tongues a couple of times. And then I fingered this one boy. And then I was like, and then after I fingered him, I was like, you want to taste what another beautiful ass tastes like? And then so then I do like that. And then we touched tongues. We were just fucked up and having a good time that day. It was a really sort of fun evening.
And it was a couple other brothers that were there too that I was just having. I enjoy hanging out with the brothers, and the shit that goes on is just extra. It's like, all right, but yes. I enjoyed hanging out. So I was having a good time hanging out with Kyriakos, Call, Steel Toe, Hades, who by the fucking way was fucked up this entire weekend.
Yes,
bitch, I was kicking so much because I thought I was fucked up. No, bitch, you was fucked up.
Right.
But anyway. But yeah,
and then so then the kids decided that we had decided that we were going to go to BBQs, and I was like, I'm out.
Yeah,
and here's why. So first of all, I don't like BBQs. I just literally do not like it. I've never been in there, even when it's not like a huge group of us, where I thought the food was good. I didn't think the drinks were that good because, like, if you get can you get a margarita in a glass this size? But it's made with a fucking mix that tastes like medicine. So I just paid $25 for a drink that, I mean, is passably drinkable, but nothing that it like excites me about it. The food is not exciting. It's just like a lot of it, and everything has, Hennessy in it or, some other bullshit. And then when there's a large group, it's going to take forever to get the food. And then there's always the foolishness at the end over what people are going to pay or whatever. And gone are the days where I pull out my Amex card and just cover whatever the excess is. Because first of all, this isn't even my chapter. And while I love the brothers there, I will not be doing that anymore. And I'm not going to name any names, but there were at least 2 to 7 well-known stunt queens that went to dinner. So I didn't want to even be in that whole, oh, well, the bill is $700 for all of these people, and we could just divide this by whatever. And then they're like, no, we need to whatever we bought. And so I was like, okay, bitch, I know exactly what I had, and I can do math. So if you say what is tax in New York City? And the gratuity is already added. So, bitch, here is my portion. So here we go. And then, the girls that had like 3 appetizers and 4 drinks and whatever. And then it was like, oh, I only bought like $50. Bitch, I don't even want to be involved in none of that.
Yeah, no. The first, let me not say the first. Well, one of the first times was in Atlanta for me.
Yes.
And it made me livid. But I had to fix my face.
I still don't really fuck with that girl to this day.
But when one of the brothers from down there said something, but this is what I appreciate with them. They was like, that is some old fucked up raggedy bullshit. But here's my card. So this is what I had. Here's my card. This is what I had. So I appreciated them from that moment on, just being like, right. I'm old fucked up shit. But here's my card. Let me pay for what the fuck I had. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but here's my card. Pay for my shit because I don't like that.
And at least with that, it was a brunch, so everything was the same price. When it's everybody's food is different and stuff, and the girls are living their lives at different price points, which I respect. And even if we say we're going to split the bill or whatever, know what the fuck you had, be able to do your math, and don't try to cheat the girls out of something, because that's what always happens. Is the girls be like, you had 3 appetizers, 2 drinks, an entree, another drink, and then a dessert. You know that.
This $20 ain't gonna cover what the fuck you had, bitch. That's not what that's covering.
Right. And then you'll be the first one to talk about, oh, the girls are shady. No, bitch, you were shady by trying to make people cover your bill and not even being honest enough and saying, hey, I want to come in fellowship, but I don't have enough money. Because if you say that, then, at least a couple of people are going to be like, well, girl, come on, we got you. But right. Don't try to sneak a free meal, because that's going to make me leave your ass there. Because here's what I will do. I will put on my best rich white woman voice and go to speak to the manager and say, here's my American Express card. I am paying for myself. I am paying for Deviant, and I am paying for Epic, because I know that you girls will pay me back, via Cash App or Venmo or whatever. Here's what we're paying, and we're going back to our hotel. And then when you all get that shit together, call me and I will meet you at the Onyx Suite.
So now you know why we didn't go to BB.
I knew why you didn't go.
All right. We can tell the truth and shame the devil. Because it's and to be clear, it's not about the girls up there, not about the brothers, it's not about them. It's just about the group. And that's the dynamic. That's the dynamic.
For me, it was both, because it's the group dynamic, which is always a problem wherever we go. But it's also, as I said, some well-known stunt queens that was part of the group that was going.
And that is one of those things where we were just, and honestly speaking, what was said was actually true, because we really did go back to the motherfucking bodega and get our shit and call it. That's what we wound up doing anyway. But that wasn't what we originally planned. We originally planned to just not go all the way around. But that's what
right. And bitch, that's how I ended up back at Mimo's with that second fucking shish kebab that I fucked up again. And then we made it back to the suite, and I gave another demo. And I feel I want to pat myself on the back. I feel like I did a good job. I taught the kids a little something. And shout out to Blunt for giving good demo bottom. So I've got a couple of TikToks to talk about.
Let's get to them.
You are so fucking shady.
I am.
Bitch. My favorite word is bitch. My favorite word is bitch. My favorite word is bitch.
I feel like that's our anthem.
Bitch, I'm here for this. Can we do this again? Can we get it again? Can we get it again?
We can.
Bitch. My favorite word is bitch. My favorite word is bitch. My favorite word is bitch.
So I enjoyed that very much.
I'm here for it. I'm here for
it. What's going on here? All right, so make sure you're just want to make sure you can still see my screen.
Yes.
Ass real fat, I can make it fatter. Wanna see a magic trick bend over backwards. Meat to meat, wall to wall.
So all I'm gonna say is that I do not
Ass real
want.
fat, I can make it fatter.
You can see it. I do not want a dookie cough shake. Because I didn't notice it at first. I was like, a cookie dough shake. Okay, I got it. But then I looked at it and looked at the caption. I was like, a dookie cough shake.
Oh, shit.
I was like, I decline.
I'm going to say no.
Now, I will preface this by saying is that if there is an because I believe he's going to say in this clip that he's Indonesian. If there is an because Indonesia was colonized like a lot of Asia was. If there is an Indonesian equivalent to a coon, that is who this young man is.
Dear God.
As a sub, I'm really into colonization. Like, I almost wish I was there when my home country was being colonized by, I think, the Dutch. I feel like it would have been so fun to observe, like, the manly pirates. Not, like, for real, obviously. I just mean, like, in a fun, like, sensual, like, way, you know? So when people ask me, like, Kevin, what do you like? Like, what are you into? Just know that, like, the core of everything that I'm attracted to is a dominant, masculine man. He doesn't have to be, like, super macho manly, but just, like, at least more than me. Like, that shouldn't be so hard, you know what I mean? I just haven't been able to be attracted to somebody more feminine than me because I feel like the dynamic is, like, completely different. And, like, at that point, we're just, like, friends, which is cool, but, like, partner-wise, like, no, you know? He also has to be more smart and more mature. Like, I don't want to baby a man. That's why I'm usually into guys that are, like, slightly older than me, like 27 to 30. That's, like, my main range. I'm open to, like, 35 max. And, like, obviously, if someone's 25, which is my age, and they're super cool and we have good chemistry, like, I'm not going to turn them down. Like, I'm open to that. But generally, 27 to 30 is, like, my ideal range. I also prefer guys that are, like, less loud and, like, less extroverted and, like, less social media-y because, like, I'm loud and, like, extroverted and social media-y, so I want someone, like, that can balance me out, you know? So that's what I look for in a man. But honestly, I don't want to, like, wait for a man to, like, start things in life. Like, I want to have a family and, like, buy a house. Like, I don't want to wait for a partner to do the things that I've always wanted to do. So I'm trying to, like, make full peace with the fact that I might be forever alone, and that's totally fine, you know? I've heard such, like, horror stories about, like, marriages and, like, once you have kids and stuff, and so I don't need, like, that stress yet. What about you guys? What kind of guys do you like? Let me know in the comments. As a sub,
Everything about this queen drains me.
I'm a little confused because it's a lot. When he said older, he said 27 to 30. He's like, you know, not my
I was like, bitch, you were 25 and you said 27 to 30 is older. That is 3 years older than you. That's a lot. Yes, that is a huge age difference when you say
9
you're 14 and you know the person you're dating is 17, because there's a huge difference between 14 and 17 in terms of maturity. But after the age of 25, now if he said, you know, he likes men that are like 35 and 40, I was like, anything less than 10 years older than you is your same generation, sir.
Yeah, pretty much. Quit it, Aaron. Go with God, Esmeralda. Quit it.
Thank you, Manga, because I was just like, girl, you just said you wish you were around when your country was being colonized because you like manly men that raped your great grandmother, that you know cut off the testicles of your great grandfather, but only like in a fun kind of way.
I mean, of course. He doesn't want to do it in a
and you know the girls on the interwebs is lighting her ass up, so
child.
And deservedly so. All right, so the next one.
So we're on that. So you still have that one up full screen?
Yeah, I'm switching to the next one.
Got you.
Hello and welcome back. A lot of you all have said, Rashonda, you are not a roller coaster operator, but you keep us strapped in. And to that, I say thank you. Today, we're here to discuss something that's really been beating a lot of you all upside the head. And it's really very simple. Let's check the board. This is an airplane. Huh? This is us on the plane enjoying ourselves, kiki and ha, and we've had our refreshments, beverages, snacks, everything. It is now time to land this plane. As soon as the wheels touch down on this aircraft, this is you back here in row 35, standing. Where are you going, Henry? Huh? The plane is going to naturally unboard itself, and you're all the way at the back. Here's you, Kathy, row 50, and you're in the middle seat. Why are you standing? Where are you going? I really believe these are the same people that would wear fully laced up Doc Martens, knowing that we got to go through TSA. Now we waiting behind you, irritated. Where's your slippers? Where's your slide on shoes? You're making life more difficult than it needs to be. Sit your ass down. Thanks.
Child, listen. There's another one that she doesn't do. Is this? I just saw it the other day. There's this guy who's like, "This is me, and this is you, and this is my business, and this is your business. And what I need you to do is I need you to move yourself from out of my business over into your business. And there's another place down here called a child's place, and I need you to stay in the child's place if you're under 18. So therefore, this place has nothing to do with this place or that place." Baby, I was keying because I thought it was so hilarious.
Yes.
So hilarious. But yeah,
a couple more. Now, this one, I had mixed feelings about sharing this because, I mean, we make fun of Black people, but I don't want to make fun of Black people, but Lord have mercy. Are you seeing it?
No, it's just you and I.
Oh, yeah, I got to change the screen. There we go. That's what we want to see.
All y'all people that keep asking me what's my children name is, their name is Cremation and Carnation. Them my babies, they twins. Then it's Persuasion, which is my oldest. Then Shekinah Glory. Then it's Ray Ray, which his real name is Ray Monte. Then I have my son Manifestation, which his name is Little Man. Then I have custody of my niece, Cash Appia. Her mother is suffering from addiction. Them are my children. And anything else y'all want to know, just ask me and I'll tell y'all. But y'all need to stay out my business. All
Cremation. Cremation and Carnation. Them the twins. Persuasion. Shekinah Glory. Now, my good friend named her daughter Shekinah because Shekinah means it's some religious term. So, okay, sure, fine. Shekinah Glory. All right. Ray Monte, who they call Ray Ray, and then
Cash Appia.
No. Before that one, we got Manifestation or Lil Man. And then that's Cash Appia is actually her granddaughter. Her daughter is suffering from addiction.
So the fact that we have people in this chat, Desmond, I don't know why I didn't think you would be following her. You follow her and she gets worse? Like, really? Really? She can't possibly get worse. Really?
Eccentric has left the chat. I've fallen down and I can't get up. If anyone want to hit that Cash Appia, girl, how did you get here? Nobody's supposed to be here. And Megan says, I would have preferred Zell.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Listen, and this is the main reason why none of the people that I hang around with have any fucking sense. This is why I don't have any fucking sense, because they don't have any fucking sense. None of them.
And since she named, what was the first one's name? Cremation and Carnation. I'm surprised that there's not a whole series the Zelle, the Cash Appia, and the Venmo, the Venmo, the Venmonica, the Venmonica.
Or Monica, and then it's also PayPalisha.
No, excuse me, that's PayPalia. PayPalia.
Oh, PayPalia. Okay, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Is that makes it French? PayPalia. Okay.
Yes. So we've got one more to share, and then
this entire submarine situation is like
we're not on the picture
against the
sorry.
idea.
Hold please. I forgot I got to switch the layout too.
There
All right.
This entire submarine situation is like a direct indictment against the idea that rich people are inherently smarter than poor people. Because what do you mean you have to sit crisscross applesauce in the vessel? What do you mean they have to bolt you from the outside? Like, what do you mean that the whole thing is piloted by a knockoff brand PlayStation controller? And especially, what do you mean you all paid $250,000 a person to do it? And like, of course, there's a level of sympathy that I feel because I would hate to perish that way. Like the level of dread that wells up in me at the thought of going out like that, horrific. But a larger part of me is just like, I would never do that. You couldn't pay me to do that. And they paid to do it. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
That part. All of that.
She is speaking all the words that I think many people have actually thought. Because, baby, I cannot imagine. Well, honestly speaking, what would have gotten me was the fact that literally you bolt me in from the outside. I'm out. I'm out. Like, I'm not even talking about the danger of anything else. I'm out, but the fact that you're bolting me from the outside. I don't like feeling like I don't have any options. No.
So all of what she said, the fact that this submarine, if we had been in 1862, all of this would have been like the height of technology.
Exactly.
But in 2023, bitch, first of all, I would have done my research because there's no way that I'm doing something like this, especially if I'm paying $250,000. First of all, $250,000. I have my interest in Titanic is like, do I have a couple of hours to waste watching this movie?
Or watch it?
Listen, let me tell you, I did not think I would like Titanic, but bitch, when fucking Rose jumped back on that ship, I was like, whoa!
It was cute.
So I was like, she jumped back on the ship because she loved her man and she just met 36 hours ago.
It was cute.
It was cute, but that is the beginning and the end of my interest in Titanic. Bitch, you know I don't even like to go in water where my feet don't touch the bottom.
Yeah.
So the idea of going into a submarine that goes that deep, we went to the Bahamas. We took my father for the Bahamas for his 65th birthday, and we got in one of those little bitch ass submarines where the water's only like 25 feet deep, and you're sitting each at a little bench, and they have a little gun where you can shoot food out to attract fish to you, and you can take pictures out the porthole and shit, but they still make you wear a life vest and everything, and they go over safety procedures, and bitch, I was looking at that shit like a mug, because if I got to get out of there, because I figured if this shit flood, I could hold my breath for as long as it takes me to get to the surface, because it was literally, the water's only literally like 20 feet deep. So I figured I could survive that. But bitch, the level of freaked outedness that my body started having as that water started going up above the glass, I was like, bitch, it's only 20 feet of water. It's only 20 feet of water. Bitch, this is a tourist company. There's no way. They got to have insurance and stuff. It's to their advantage to keep me alive. All of that shit is going through my mind. So bitch, if I'm paying $250,000, I would have been watching all kinds of documentaries, and all of this shit was out there. They have had people already sue them because of unsafe conditions and everything. And bitch, when I saw that fucking PlayStation controller, I'd have been like, I'm out. I'm out.
You know what? I cannot stand. Bougie girl, go in the corner. Girl, go sit in the motherfucking corner. Go sit in the corner.
Clarnathia.
But it's the first. It's the second part.
If they wanted, and if I could have let them submerge. Yes. So there is no fucking way that I would do. Now I feel bad for them. I feel real bad because, bitch, drowning is probably my second biggest fear of ways to die. First is like being burned to death. And so I never really think about, oh, what if I lose all of my air? But that's what's going to happen to them. If they're not already dead from some other reason and they didn't already suffer some other tragedy, they are going to be in that room until all that oxygen runs out. And they're going to know that the oxygen is running out. And it's just a terrible way to die. But I'm like, this is not a tragedy. I mean, this is a tragedy, but it's not a tragedy because Titanic was a tragedy because these girls, I mean, even if you say eat the rich or whatever, these people did not expect to do that. These people knowingly went into danger on a broken ass sub.
That part.
They got to sit on the fucking, and I refuse to, as a 52-year-old person, say crisscross applesauce. I will understand that we no longer say sit Indian style, so I'm just going to say sit cross-legged. But as a 52-year-old person, I'm not going to say crisscross applesauce, just the same way that I'm not going to refer to chicken nuggets as nuggies.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. But yeah,
Yeah, and that one is only 18 years old who went with his father. I was like, I would be like,
but they're giving the one's son grief because he went to a concert, Blink 82, whatever, and I'm kind of like, bitch, what are you supposed to be doing? What are you supposed to be doing? Are you supposed to be sitting at home and literally waiting by the what are you supposed to be doing?
Well, that is kind of, I don't give a fuck. I mean, I would if it was, and even for like a person that I really cared about, like you, so this is, if something happened to you the day before, well, I will take that back. I was going to say, if something happened to you the day before we go to see Beyonce, I will be like, he would want me to see Beyonce. You Nick?
Bitch, and you better go. Bitch, let me be clear. You better take your ass and bitch, you better party on like it's 1999. But bitch, no. At a certain point, you do have to sit back and say, okay, hold up. I got shit going on up here. I need to understand what the fuck. I need to take my mind off of it. I need to, like, in the next hour or 2 or 3 hours, is there anything that can happen that's going to change what the situation is? And I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Everybody deals with things differently. I get it, but
right.
Maybe I don't know. They're giving this man grief because they also said that at one point, somebody online hit somebody up and said something about, oh, I want to sit on your face. And he was like, sure. I'm not sure what his relation was to one of the people inside the submarine, but they're giving him grief as well. And it's kind of like, well, wait a minute. Well, bitch, what? I mean, what?
Who would say that to someone going through something like that? But all of that is none of my affair. I don't care about what people who their survivors are doing. I just hope this is a cautionary tale for other stupid motherfuckers, like people who decide they want to do space tourism and spend $1 million to circle the Earth in some bootleg ass rocket ship or something. Yeah, girl, I'm not going to be that. I mean, will tourism to the moon and in hotels in orbit and Mars be, something to do one day? Yeah, that might be something that we might do as rich old white women, when we're in our 70s. But right now, girl, you will no. The technology ain't perfected enough for me yet.
Listen, all I know is, so Bougie, I appreciate you saying that because something like she just mentioned, some fate you just don't tempt. And she was saying how, you're literally on top of a floating cemetery and them souls are not at rest. And I'm like, okay, yeah, because even at the end of the day, when you go down there, baby, at this point, what you are going to see is going to be the remnants of a lot of things. You're not going to see a body. You might see a bone. You may not even see that because, again, some of that shit was probably settled or floated the fuck away for various reasons.
Yeah, there's probably very few bones because all them animals, them fish down there have,
right. So like you're
That's
seeing
all gone.
basically a rusted barnacle mass of barnacles or whatever down there at this point.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna resemble a boat, but like bitch, listen, there was a probe that went down and saw pictures of the Titanic. Baby, I'm good with that. I don't need to be down there.
Right. I mean, and you could do a 3D tour of the wreck of the Titanic. And I was like, oh, this is beautiful. If they ever turn that into like a game for the Oculus where you could do like a walk around through it, bitch, I would be all up in it. But actually getting in a sub and going down there, it's a wrap for me.
And for me, I guess it brings up that whole idea of what is it? Macrophagia is when you start seeing big stuff and you start realizing how small or insignificant you are, or microphagia. Right. Like, baby, I've realized that on my own when I was in the ocean and I'm looking at all this big blue. I was like, bitch, I am a dot. Let me get the fuck up out of this.
Right. I do that as much as I love cruises. Every now and again, especially at night, if you could find a place on the ship where there's not a lot of light and you go outside and you like face away from the ship and you like, bitch, if something was to happen to me out here, no one would even know it.
Baby, listen.
Like if a meteor happened to hit the ocean and strike that ship, like if that shit happens on land, people be like, yeah, didn't you see that ship, that meteor strike land or whatever? I mean, that shit could happen. It would be months before people would even know what the fuck happened to us.
Yeah, I'm not really I'm not really into that. So
no.
I'm my prayers and hopes go out to the family, but at this particular point, since we are now going into Thursday, I don't know if we're going to find them. But that's we'll see.
Have you been watching RuPaul?
Of course I've watched RuPaul.
So I have several quick points.
Come on, let's go.
One, RuPaul was so stiff in that fucking corset.
Bitch, you know what it feels like to be in a motherfucking corset, bitch. You was like,
I do, but she's supposed to be a professional. I mean, at least look like you. I mean, you could be stiff without looking like you're stiff.
Listen, she was doing
exactly.
But listen, she looked good for the photos. That's all she did. She looked good for the
right.
photos.
And I do appreciate that Ru is trying to do something with her looks. So I did appreciate the corset look, even though she didn't move right in it. And I definitely appreciated this bikini and hairdo that she had for the true crime joint.
The bikini and true crime.
She had on the high-waisted bikini and the hair was in like a updo, to the front.
I think I remember that, but I don't remember being in a bikini. But okay, that's fine.
So going back to the Rusical, first of all, I think that Rusical was the best Rusical ever. I thought that they all really did a good job.
They did. I liked it. I just liked the way it was done. And for me, because it was real short and sweet, but it was, and I actually thought that some of the girls did a really good job. And I thought that Kahana was one of them. I thought she did a good job.
Exactly. I said that Candy deserved that win, and her Grace Jones was amazing with the K, with the dot, and how she turned it into her own sort of symbol. But I really thought that Kahana did a great job as Joan. Now, when I watched like the recap of it quickly, I saw a couple of spots where she might have, flubbed the words or whatever. And did she? If we're saying it was a difference between the A and the A+, but yeah, I think we should still give Kahana her kudos because that was a hard job with a lot of fucking choreography.
Yes, it was
a lot. And they give you that bullshit like they do this all overnight. There's a week between when they do that. I mean, that cannot be all overnight. I just refuse to believe that they learn all that choreography overnight. But still, even if you got like a week to learn all that choreography, that was a lot.
It's like a 2 or 3 day window that you have it.
But still, there was a lot of choreography. And even if her face wasn't facing and giving everything, she still did a good job, I thought.
Yeah, I thought she did a good job. I thought that I definitely agree that Alexis should have been in the bottom because I thought that her character was the flattest.
Well, we're talking about the last episode. I'm talking about the Rusical still.
That's what I'm saying. In the Rusical, she was flat. Like she was just boring.
Yes, she was definitely boring. I thought she should have been in the bottom for sure.
She was boring.
So if you were going to put Kahana in there, I feel like James Mansfield did a better job than Alexis.
Kahana. I mean, I'm sorry. Yes, she did a better job than Alexis. That is correct.
Yes. So frankly, if I was going to give it a bottom 2, it would have been Alexis and James Mansfield.
I would have agreed with you on that.
And I think Candy did the right thing by sending James home because you know what? I don't like Candy. I'm just going to come right out and say it. I don't like her. I don't like how she stands there with her mouth open.
And breathes.
And breathes. I'm just like, bitch, could you close your mouth? It just annoys me. It feels like that she is a verbal breather. Like if you were standing next to her, you would hear like every breath she took. And it would just work my nerves. But she's told you that she, Candy is strategic about it. And of course, if I had to choose between James and Kahana, I was like, Kahana's already, at that point, had already been in the bottom 3 times. So why wouldn't you send home somebody who already had a win and was stronger competition? Because Kahana ain't going to ever beat you. So
all I know is I'm also kind of sad that Alexis stayed, which is really weird. So
yeah.
So
then for this other episode, so my first comments were Alexis was right. Candy always chooses what she wants, and everyone else has to work around it.
Girl.
And then, then she's like, but I'm just stating my opinion. But I was like, you always say, oh, well, this is the character and she did that on her season too, which is why she got into it with
Tanisha,
whoever it was. And so I'm just like, girl, you can't always get your way. And I know that is a strategy in any sort of thing when you got to choose parts to always say what you want first, but you can't always get your way. And then you always draw this line where, oh, this is the only part that I want. And this is the only part that'll make me happy. And everybody else is stuck doing that. But Alexis is kind of a bitch too. So I'm a little bit over her. But then
she also distracts you with that fucking ball spot.
Very distracting. And then my other thought was, bye, Kahana. I mean, listen, I'm over these people leaving the show. And I also said, Rue doesn't give a shit about you. The only reason she came out is because if too many people leave the show, then they do not have enough episodes to fill the time that they have been paid for Paramount to do. That is the only reason that she came out and gave you that terrible ass pep talk.
But she surely did get to gather the girls together, though.
She gathered them together, kind of. But I feel like the advice that Jimbo gave Kahana was actually much more useful.
Very helpful. And
I will say that the one thing that RuPaul said, and she didn't come right out and say it, it was like, girl, you've got a stage here. So even if you go home, your brand is being built. So you've made it to the top 6. So you've been on 13 episodes. People that need to book a drag queen for Pride or whatever are seeing you and your name. And now, so even if you left the show right at that point because you got voted off, people have seen you. They didn't see that you failed. They saw you perform. They saw your fabulous outfits and gowns and was like, I want to see that at my club or my bar.
Life is but a dream that you manifested slowly. So fuck a fantasy. This is your motherfucking moment.
Baby. A fucking men.
Baby. Listen. Come on.
Right. And I also did not care for that true crime drama. Although Lala Ree killed it.
So here's I'm gonna be negative nasty. I'm gonna be the Russian.
Okay. You the Russian judge?
She played
herself.
Kate Slant, we ain't gonna do nothing else, and we're gonna call it nothing else. She played herself, and she is funny. Let me be clear, but she played herself. It wasn't a stretch for her. She just played herself. It just is what the fuck it is. If Demaine and I went on motherfucking RuPaul's Drag Race, bitch, we would be our motherfucking self. That's what the fuck it would call for.
We would be La La Ree.
the negative Nancy and the comedy bitch. Listen, we will both be sitting there with our hands up. The difference is, I think, with us two and everybody else, girl, listen, good luck if you win, but girl, I got you until we get to a point we got to decide. That's all I got to say. So we good.
And then I would be like, girl, if y'all got to vote me off, you got to vote me off because this is a fucking competition and we knew this shit going in. I'm not going to be mad at you. When I see you out in the street, I'm not going to hold no grudge against you because it's a fucking competition. So I would expect you to vote me off and just know that if it's up to me, you might get voted off. And I'm not going to build no alliance with you because if you did terrible, I'm not going to hold you on it. So I would tell them up front, I'm not building no alliance. I'm not going to be shady to nobody. And as long as you don't say nothing crazy to me, I'm not going to say nothing crazy to you.
Yeah. Because, bitch, if I actually am at a point where I feel like I need to get rid of my competition, then, bitch, whoever I view as the top competition, bitch, you get out. Bitch,
right. And if Jimbo slips up, he knows it's a whole wrap for him.
It's a whole wrap for every bitch in there is going to be like, well, got to go, Jimbo. Got to go bye.
Right. So that's how I felt about that. But I still thought Lala Ree, yes, she was giving herself, but I thought that she was funny, especially when there was like when RuPaul was like, "There's cameras all over this place." She was like, "So this is on camera?"
She's like, "You can see me. you can see me."
Oh, okay.
It was like, because listen, what she was doing was she was gathering herself together for all the eloquence that was
exactly.
That's what it was. It was the eloquence of the scene. That's why she was there. What happened. What had happened was they was using all these satirical words and stuff. And so with the satirical words, Miss Lala was like, you know what, bitch, I'm gonna go ahead and put my vocabulary out there and stuff, because I know a couple words, and so that's when she was like, bitch, I'm gonna go ahead and exercise my eloquence. Like, bitch, that's what I'm doing, my eloquence, bitch. What?
Right. And this whole thing about category is queen of blank. I thought that was a fail for most.
I didn't quite get it. I
get what it was supposed to be, but I don't think most of them did it. Kahana, did she look beautiful? But if she was queen of busted drag queens, that was not what she was. Or tired. No, it was queen of tired showgirls. So I was like,
if you
okay, girl, then you give a fabulous look, but you give dead behind the eyes.
Right. Or you give a fucked up outfit that looked like it was old and beat down to give old tired drag queen. That's what you know what I mean? But again, I don't know. But hey, it is what it is.
So good for them.
Yeah. Next week we'll see what the fuck happens. That's where we're at.
Right. So, I guess so. And the last thing I'll say is that every time they do the reveal of the lip sync assassin, I'm always like, who the fuck is that?
Child.
Because I didn't watch I think Georges was on the last season.
Georges
like
was.
Season 15, and I didn't watch that season, so I didn't know who the fuck they were.
That's
and most of these, when they say them, and when they say their names, I was like, oh, that's who that is. But none of them, generally, they all look like drag queens. You know what I mean? So there's nothing, like next to each other, they look unique. But just if you pointed me a picture of a drag queen, I wouldn't be like, oh, that's Georges. I wouldn't know who that is. Or Akira Van Michaels. I'd be like.
So a lot of them I do know, the ones that I've paid attention to or put something in, but there's some of them that I don't know who the fuck they are. I'd be like, who the fuck is that? Like, oh, okay, that's such and such. Oh yeah.
Right.
Or the first two bitches that went home for each season, like, bitch, I don't know who the fuck they are. Like the princess, bitch, I know who the princess is, but I couldn't pick her out of a lineup. Like, bitch, I'd have to go back from her original picture where I saw her bald and that.
Frankly, I didn't even know who the fuck James Mansfield was.
She was home first, but you know who Victoria Porkchop Parker is.
Well, of course, because she was the first person to go home first.
And I know that bitch because she would come and she's done some pageants in a couple of different places and got to meet her in Pittsburgh a long time ago. So I knew exactly who the fuck she is.
But so, we'll see. It was cute. It's 9:30, so I guess we aren't going to get into any stories unless you have some that you really want to hit.
Not necessarily. I mean, we could talk about it. We already talked about the submarine being submersed.
Yes.
We also talked about we've talked about Rihanna before. We've also talked about I found the fact that we have Pharrell Williams is now the new person taking over Virgil Abloh's spot and had a Louis Vuitton fashion show. Anita, Zendaya, Maluma, Offset, Koi, Larray, Tyler the Creator, Willow, and Jaden Smith, J Balvin, and all these other people showed up for a show. It was actually really good. Pharrell and Hove performed. ASAP Rocky showed a picture of Rihanna and their son, and some people think it's some teasers to the sex of the second baby, which she hasn't had yet, because he was brushing her teeth with some sort of pink liquid and had a pink bonnet, so they're thinking it's a girl. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, the other stuff was some funny stuff, but again, like I said about the submergers, and then also there was some protesters in Massachusetts that turned their backs on senators and dropped their trousers, revealing pink bare buttocks with the words emblazoned "Stop passing gas," because they were members from an Extinction Rebellion, international environmental movement. So yeah, it's a lot of different stuff, but that was pretty much the stories that we had. But unless there was something that you had, did you want to talk about as well?
I've talked about everything I want to talk about.
Yep.
And just as a reminder, our last show of this cycle is next Wednesday, June 28th. We will be off the entire month of July, and we will return on Wednesday, August the 2nd, just in time to preview our looks for our Saturday Beyonce concert.
Yes. Bitch, that means I gotta really pull together a look here. Like,
because I was like, I mean, I got the shoes.
Bitch, you are making me think and making me pull shit out of my closet. Bitch, what?
I could just go with I could take that black top I got from ASOS with the fringe.
Uh-huh.
And like embellish it and do something, or just wear the black top, but like have some jewels or something. I don't know.
Is this going to be a live show? The last show, or are you talking about the show when we come back from? I'm sorry. Are you asking about the last show, or are you asking about the show before we go see Beyonce, Best Friend? Which one are you talking about?
Well, both of them will still be like this, at least right now.
I was gonna say, 'cause none of them we plan on being live.
Yeah, we're almost certainly not going to do that. We will be doing something special.
We might do something. Well, from the event.
We might do something from the event, but that would be on tape for you to see.
Well, yes.
I don't want to be bothered, but what is this? This is 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So there might be something special on Wednesday, August the 16th for episode 227.
Get into it.
So get ready. We'll let you know.
Get into it.
Well, all right, let's get into this bean footage.
So Bougie Girl, you are more than welcome to come through for an evening taping. I don't have a problem with that. We can chat offline about that. You are more than welcome. Anybody's more than welcome, as far as I'm concerned. Eccentric, yeah, I don't know about that. So listen, I was saying earlier I have my own body issues. Baby, listen, that when I say it was a stretch for me, Baby, it was a stretch. But we can talk about that offline.
A stretch for what?
Yeah, he's talking about that mesh look from the weekend. Baby, it was a stretch.
Why was it a stretch? You looked good in it.
It was a stretch. Again, it's my own shit. It's not anybody else. It's just me. You know, we all have our own little. We look at that. We look at that mirror and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that." It's my own. It's me. I know everything about it is me.
Oh,
Probably,
I understand.
Probably because I know I didn't talk about 9,000 people, and I know if I put myself in a position to be talked about, then I'd be like,
It looked good on you. It really did.
Well, we're gonna work with that. Thank you. I appreciate it. But it was no, I wasn't naked per se, but I was trustled up like a ham. How about that?
In the best possible way.
Right.
A
Instead
beautiful, beautiful Smithfield picnic.
Right. Instead of the red meshing, I had more like a black mesh.
Exactly.
But you know,
are you gonna go to Baltimore Pride this weekend?
Saturday, I actually have to work at the Black Degree Factory.
Oh, I'm not gonna go because Azamek is going to be, we got a lot going on, and he's going to be leaving town at the end of July for 2 months. So, all of our moments are precious.
End of July. Okay. Yeah. Saturday, I actually have to work. And then also there's a graduation for someone that actually, a good friend of mine. So when I get off work, I'm trying to make it to that. But then I know I'm not going to be able to make it up for Pride or anything. Plus, I also have to get myself ready because the following week, I then go to San Diego. So it's like I got shit to do. So it's like, ugh.
So you're going to be in San Diego over the 4th of July weekend?
I'll be coming back right before I go back. I leave out on the 29th and come back on the 2nd. So I'll come back like right that whole week.
Oh, so right after we do this, you're going to leave. So our show is on the 28th. And then you're
Right.
heading out on the 30th, 29th. Okay.
Yep. That next morning I'll be rolling out.
All righty then.
So,
Well, it's been lovely. You and I need to chit chat, so don't drop off immediately. But I'll say to the family, thank y'all for coming out. God bless you, and good night.
bye.
Bye. Love you. Mean it.